El Tri showed once again that it has glaring weaknesses at the back that must be improved if the next cycle will be a successful one. It has been easy enough for Mexico fans to shrug off anything that has happened since the World Cup. A 2-0 loss to Argentina on Friday is the fourth defeat of 5 matches overseen by interim manager Ricardo Tuca Ferretti. But Ferretti is the interim manager. He is trying to bring in young players, giving chances to members of a new generation who may still be too green for the demands of international football but could excel. The loss in Córdoba, however, was another piece of evidence that not all will be well simply when Mexico starts playing matches that matter. When the new manager, who will be Gerardo Tata Martino unless something unexpected happens at the 11th hour, takes over the team, he will inherit issues that have been exposed during Ferretti's brief tenure. Today, our ceiling was very far. I expected better soccer from the players. I think we had a lot of mistakes that, how can I tell you, players on this level shouldn't have, Ferretti said in his post-match news conference. I think that was one of the reasons why they started to dominate the play and the position on the field. Maybe far is drastic, but we do have to work a lot, the manager clarified. A lot. We need a lot of work. The biggest problem continues to be El Tri's defense, and once again it struggled to keep pace Friday. Mexico has conceded in every match since the World Cup. That can't be shrugged off, especially when it's not difficult at all to imagine the backline Ferretti utilized against Argentina being the one Martino puts out at the Gold Cup. Nestor Araujo and Diego Reyes reasonably could be the center-back pairing of the future with Luis Chaca Rodriguez and Jesus Gallardo on either side of them. They started well, as did most of Mexico's players, but petered out as the first half went on. Changes in the second half led to a bit of improvement, but Mexico will need to improve by more than just a little if it's going to get to the heights it wants to in the next World Cup cycle. The defense wasn't particularly strong under previous manager Juan Carlos Osorio, whose constant messaging about needing to improve the aerial game was ridiculed by many reporters in the Mexican press, many of whom saw it simply as height discrimination. It hardly seems silly now. It was never about the number with Osorio but rather if the player could perform when a cross is whipped into the box or when he needs to win a second ball. Clearly there are a lack of players that applies to in the Mexico player pool. Of the 10 goals that have been conceded in the first 5 matches since Russia, half of them have come from set pieces. 4 out of the 10 were scored on headers. Ramiro Funes Mori's opener in the 44th minute was a perfect example of El Tri's issue with both. Some players decided they were playing the offside trap. They weren't, or if they were supposed to be, it was ruined by other players who weren't. It's a gaffe that simply can't happen if Mexico wants to win matches against the world's top teams. With the Villarreal defender in, there was no one there to make him think about anything other than where he would place his header. He made the right decision and beat goalkeeper Guillermo Ochoa to give Argentina the lead before the break. Nobody wants their players to make mistakes, Ferretti said. Tuesday, I'd expect the team, the players, each one individually play to their level and that after that as a collective they can integrate. It's not that easy. With a national team you only have 1 or 2 days to come together. It really depends on the individual players, on their tactical understanding, and I hope Tuesday we can improve on both aspects, the individual and the collective. Too often in the past, Mexico matches have turned into shooting galleries on the country's top goalkeepers. Ochoa has passed those tests, and he was again superb Friday. He saw bright spots but ultimately seems ready for a new manager to take over and get to work on some of the issues.